Upon a time on the islands of Cuba lived two sisters named Adelaida and Marisol. All got identical twins in appearance. Their personalities were as different as night and day. Adelaida was noble and loved to help there. She understood that the situation at home was no easy. Their fathers working 14 hours a day and their mother was frail and ill. So Adelaida, who woke up worried early every morning to cook breakfast and have it ready for her father because he goes to work. They would eat together while they talked about many different matters. Adelaida would there pretty proud, a try for her mother. With love and tenderness, she fed her each meal of the day. She also insisted on having the or craft for her much loved mother. She spent time bashing her mama hand and would take pleasure in it. On the other hand, Marisol believed that the world revolved around her. After sleeping after noon, she expected a breakfast meal. From the moment that she stepped out of her bed, she would order, "Adelaida, bring me my breakfast." Adelaida would serve her sisters bacon, egg, thorn juice, and milk. She was hurried to take the porn to the table and gather to her sister, but Marisol always complained that the food was not hot enough or the drink not cool enough, no matter how much Adelaida, who tried to please her, it never seems to be enough. Marisol often won favor during the very moment that her sisters was crying for their mother, and so Adelaida would iron over her sister, whining and tend to her mother first. In the wrong home of each day, Adelaida would sweep the father, wash irons, and do the dishes. In Betty sure, she would hurry each time Marisol rang a bell, demanding her services. Those was common. Call my hand, wash and iron my clothes, make my bed. I am hungry. I want chicken and yellow rice, salads, and crustaceans for dinner. Adelaida would just give in to her sister, demanding 2 hours complaining. That would decide their mother. Please, Lucky. Adelaida had dogs, cats, and birds that adored her and followed her around. Even the maid would can't keep her complaint and held out. Little Marines of Muff carried the knife on top of the hand to shut the table. Sometimes Adelaida and her DJ would have fun together, cutting a giant pumpkin to make pumpkin soup, pumpkin pie, and pumpkin crustal. One evening, when their father came home from work, he called both of the daughters, Adelaida and Marisol. Both kissed him and lifted to what he bad to say, with a foul human bow. My boss is having a dinner at him mentions and he wants half family to attend. Mr. Paris wishes to reward me for being the employee of the year. He also is very proud of himself who just furnished him incentives and gratuity as a doctor. He is coming home just in the time of Christmas holiday and he will great off as to meet me. In his mind he was thinking, how am I going to get my wife to go? She is so rich and free. Adelaida, who fights and sues her family's conscience and sorrow, rents his mind and reply, Papi, you go ahead and door the party and take Marisol with you. I feel safe home with Mary, and I promise to call the nurse if I need to extra home. Marisol was anxious. In such a gas pen to me. Take me shopping for a new pair shoes, pearl, and jewelry. Deep in her mind she was scheming to snatch the year daughter. If she married right, she could have seven. A chef and a chauffeur. Their father tried to call Adelaida into going with them. He said, Adelaida, please come along with us early with. Call the nurse to come for your mother. During the few some that we will be go. Adelaida families but families break it bad to let you stay. His family agreed. The dinners was only 2 weeks away the Marisol. Contrary to usually about a dress, a pair of shoes, a pen, jewelry. And now events there's purpose to her in Sweden's family. Events absence work in 14-hour shifts. Papi looking Marisol out or several collections to buy her closure. If Adela the mother or the nurse tried to reason with her in station different. Marisol was weak and white under she's got away. Their father looking for this and could wasn't keep his family on the ground. Adela had her family and whispers, Papi, I love you, she cried. Adela rinse and kissed her on the top of her head. Adela feels sorry for the father and his sister who grew up and matured. Someday they were both 23 years old and even got their way twins. Their actions and values were split apart. Adela often spoke to me as right as ours part of ice in a tree at the moon. Greetings and sparkle of
A snake slither out from her mouth and she looked petrified. Marisol without thinking square stop it before she even finished speaking. A crocodile dashed out from her mouth. Adela breathing a cry so begged the magical nurse to forgive her sister. She cried, please take my receipt away each time I speak and remove the case from my sister's tongue while more zero spill from her mouth and onto the floor for the first time. Marisol was enlightened by her sister's love for her. Reply touched Marisol felt sincerely moved. The nurse called sent both sisters' love for it, told her and love conquered evil. The spell was broken endings after 23 minutes had 11 minutes for each year for there. Right 23 minutes that seemed like an eternity. When their father returned that evening he saw that both sisters were waiting, hand and foot on their mother. Marisol and her father arrived at the mansion. The butler greeted them and announced their appearance. Mr. Garces, gentle broad white, and son welcome them. Mr. and Mrs. Pérez inquired about the whereabouts for his wife, and he told her twin daughter the humbles. Mr. Garcia replied softly, white sad and shameful eyes. My wife is out, Wakefield and Bestland, so my told her daughter Adelaida stay home car in for her. She insisted that welcome and have an evening. Oh, young Dr. Perez did not even glance at Marisol. He just thought it odd that one sister was out partying while the two others was looking after her mother. Mr. and Mrs. Perez felt sorry the families suffering and offered to take the meal to the Garcia home and eat there. Instead, Marisol was flabbergasted. This can't be happening. I must be having police drove to the Garcia residence. The servant and chauffeur carried the meal inside the palace. Family members were crying to the master bedroom where Adelaida was brushing her mother's hair is the same, so sweetly although Adelaida had no makeup and was wearing simple clothes the look cold, calm collected, and as faithful as a set. Young Dr. Pelis looked at Adelaida emerald green eyes and realized that this was one young lady that he would love to befriend. At the end for the corridor, Marisol green eyes displayed her jealous and envy. They sat around the Earl. Mr. Garcia spoke softly, and it holding there, placed by one hand and drank for while the throw her. There is black bean, rice, pork, and fried plantain. Adelaida did not begin eating until she slowly and gently fed her mother first. By this point, Marisol was starving, so she devoured her food. After this very enlightening visit, the young doctor asked Mr. Garcia if he could come regularly to check up on Mrs. Garcia and visit Adelaida. Mr. Garcia was very grateful for his interest and agreed. The next day, the young doctor appeared at the Garcia home. He later the child was the diagnosed for illness and then examined Mrs. Garcia. Dr. Pelis wrote a prescription for a medication that has been tested and approved in the United States but was not yet that will now in Cuba. He asked the twin young lady to go to the pharmacy. Adelaide